Hello, hello. This is our weekly live stream where we bring you all the actionable stuff that we can figure out in SEO and AI. Again, we are not actually separating the both because they are very, very overlapping in search results everywhere else in search behaviors. So at this point, we started as an SEO live stream. Now we are search engine optimization and AI optimization. And we discuss everything that's trending, everything that's happening in the industry, all the lessons we've learned from optimizing for ourselves and our clients here. I'm Ann Sumati. I have been an SEO for 20 years. I can definitely say this is the most exciting time to be an SEO because this is moving fast without changing the fundamentals. So it's a very interesting exercise to move through all that noise and listen, learn, and try to find what exactly should we be changing. We know how the buying journeys are changing. We know how the buzz is coming out with new terms and new abbreviations and new buzz terms and all of that. But we are here to help you figure out the actual noise-free strategy for organic visibility. I'm the co-founder of Marketing. With me here today and always April, our director of social. She's not so much into SEO, but this is a good thing. First of all, SEO is not just SEO at this point. Last week, we talked about how integrated SEO is into everything that's happening with the company. So social media is as part of SEO as anything else. So April can bring that perspective that we SEOs can be lacking, and she also can ask questions that not too many people really understand, especially when they are like me into SEO too much. Today is an interesting topic, and we've been talking about that a lot. That is Reddit. April absolutely has much more experience in Reddit than I do. I started a few months ago, maybe 7. Well, I registered an account many years ago, but I have always been too intimidated by Reddit. April, on the other hand, has been leading marketing campaigns on Reddit for like 14 years. So I'm sure she will be able to talk so much more from her personal experience. I'm sharing my amateur, like newbie test. I'm not trying to claim myself an expert in Reddit because I really did just one thing there and that's it. But Reddit is much more diverse, much more difficult, especially when you have to manage clients on Reddit and you have to go from topic to topic, from niche to niche. It's very, very diverse for every client that we manage. So she knows all of that. I just tried one thing and I want to share that experiment with you. If you want to see all the details, screenshots, links, and smarty.com is where my newsletter lives. Please subscribe and take all the screenshots and everything from there to see what it looked like, what you can achieve. And again, it's not like everyone is the same on Reddit. Every topic, every subreddit, every goal is different. So I'm talking from my personal experience, but we will also absolutely discuss with April what else can happen on Reddit and how it can be different from topic to topic, from goal to goal. So that is my experiment. Is my experiment. It's my personal. I again don't claim myself an expert. So as we know, Reddit is an interesting intersection between social media, search engine organic visibility, and AI visibility and brand positioning. And that is why it has been on everyone's radars, on every business very aware of Reddit for at least a couple of years. April and the team that we have over at Smarter Marketing have been doing Reddit for much longer, for at least 14 or 15 years at this point. So we started way before it became a thing. But I'm not quite that much of an expert. I really started paying attention to Reddit when it became part of everything else, all the organic channels that I'm optimizing for, I'm helping clients to optimize for. So let's talk about that. So first of all, fundamentally, Reddit ranks in Google. That is a big challenge for most businesses because it ranks for navigational queries, anything that has to do with the brand name reviews, all of that in most cases triggers Reddit on top of everything else. So it really is influencing the bottom of the funnel. Let's say you invested in ads on Instagram, and we have many clients that start having those problems without ever realizing that's a possibility. So let's say you start a campaign on Instagram or TikTok or both, working with influencers, investing in ads. So what happens when anyone sees that ad on Instagram? They Google you. They want to know if you are a real company, and they want to read reviews, because on Instagram there is no way to do that. And at that point, Reddit ranks on top of everything, and it really is damaging that buying journey, because most people on Reddit are not happy with whatever they are discussing with. That's just the essence of Reddit. That's the nature of Reddit. They don't like something. That's why they are passionate about discussing it. And it may be your brand. You in many cases, I think like in most cases when we are even very careful and dubious about a company, and we talk about the problems, we research their challenges, we realize it's all huge misunderstanding or incorrect product positioning or incorrect PR, incorrect product positioning strategy. It's not like the company is a scam, even though on Reddit they are very quick at announcing a lot of brands to be a scam. But in most cases, that's not the case. It's a legit, very good company that just failed to generate or balance their user-generated context the way that reflects the reality. That's why when people search and find Reddit threads, they do not want to buy. So this is one thing why Reddit is so influential. The other one is that it's a well-known fact. It's being actively used in LLM training data. Reddit threads get cited. Even if they do not get cited, they influence product positioning inside the training data. That is the knowledge of AI generators like ChatGPT, Gemini, all of those. Claude. So Reddit is fundamentally influencing product decisions there as well. So it's something that many businesses are very concerned about these days. And finally, Reddit is a huge community, and if you build your channel there, you become independent of many other channels. And Google is very inconsistent and fluid. ChatGPT or other LLM platforms may be very inconsistent as well. It's not like you can build your visibility and count on it going forward. It's always like changing. One day you have huge visibility, next day you are nowhere, especially in Google. So Reddit has that huge power. If you build your channel there, it is what can sustain you throughout all the algorithm changes. With that in mind, in that intersection of everything that has to do with organic findability these days, Reddit is there, very powerful in the overlap of everything. So the huge question which I have leads and clients every day asking me that question is, how do you become part of Reddit? And that is another interesting challenge. Why it's influencing the buying decisions all over the web, it is not very business friendly. So no one knows what to do with it and how to become part of it. And we've been helping businesses, especially April and her department, has been helping businesses with that for many, many months now, and many, many years before for viral marketing campaigns. So she definitely has an experience. I didn't. I was very intimidated by Reddit. So I was thinking that I need to do something on Reddit to absolutely understand where it is going, how it can be done, what can be changed, and all. With that in mind, I started my own subreddit, and that is the case study that I'm sharing over at nsmarty.com. This is my newsletter again, where you can read all the specifics and steps, and I've been sharing my story. That is not the first time I've been talking about that, but that is my personal experience. I am a huge believer in a personal experience. I don't think you can build a business or a product or a service over something you've never done yourself. I've never done that. That's how I roll. I don't believe you can do it. So anytime we are trying to do something, I'm very, very willing to be the actionable, like to actually try and do it myself, just to understand that. In my case with the subreddit, I didn't have huge plans. I wanted to create a curation of SEO for AI news, tools, trends, studies, anything that's important for us to understand where it is all going and what to do about that. That's what I did. By the way, SEO for AI is the subreddit that you can check at any point and see what it looks like. Took me about 6 to 7 months to build, probably less. I think that month 4 or month 5, I already saw a lot of organic engagements, but that's a hot topic. I was able to use my other social media profiles to promote it. I was able to rely on my personal brand and call friends and followers to become part of it. So it's not like every subreddit is going to grow that fast. There were a lot of other things that I was able to use to grow it. But the conclusions are just align with anyone else who is trying to build their subreddits. There are quite a few businesses that are trying to do that at this point. First of all, it works. It definitely does work. You can build a subreddit that becomes part of organic search results, that becomes a part of LLM citations or training data. We don't really know which comes first or how that works, but we know that it is cited, that it impacts the answers. So it definitely works, but it works after very hard work. You need to invest a lot of time, you need to be very consistent with your schedule. You cannot post once a month or just post something, a link, for example, and expect it to grow. It's not like, it's probably very similar to any organic channel that you grow if you are into organic visibility, which is everything that's not paid, everything that's not ads. I call organic visibility at this point. This is organic social, organic search, and organic LLM visibility, all of those that you have to be part of those natural journeys without paying anything. That's what I call organic. It always takes time, and it always takes consistently. You cannot build a website and hope to become part of organic search results in like 1 month. That just doesn't happen. Same with, you cannot start an Instagram account and hope to be visible and have friends and visibility within a month, unless you go viral, which is also which can happen, but it's not sustainable. Even if you go viral once, it will quiet down and you will not see as much growth after that. It's all about consistency. It's all about learning from what you are doing and what works well. It's all about making conclusions and not giving up. I know there were a lot of people that tried to do what we do, try starting those branded subreddits or niche subreddits, or trying to do what I did with my SEO for AI subreddit, and they fail, not for the lack of determination, but for the lack of just not trying enough for as long time as it is required. Sometimes it takes a year. Sometimes it takes 3 months. Sometimes it takes 6 months. Sometimes it takes even more. I've had very little niche websites that took me 2 years to see any results for, but I was so passionate about the topic that I was just going on my own. It is all different. It is all it can be very unpredictable. Sometimes it happens much faster. In this, for this particular experiment that I did, and I'm not going to quit it, just for you to know, I really enjoyed it, and we are going to keep growing the subreddit, and I'm going to add other moderators. At this point, I've been just myself for like 7 months there. I'm pretty sure we will grow much better and much quicker when I start collaborating with other experts on the topic. So it's all the plan. But from this experiment, I didn't expect really any results when I started it. I just wanted to know what it looks like to manage a subreddit. And it grew. I'm pretty sure it just a lot of things aligning. Like I said, a hot topic, a trending terms that we were covering, trending, a lot of happening in that industry, a lot of interest in that industry. Again, I was able to use my other social profiles to grow it. So there were a lot of things aligning there. So it grew a little bit faster even than I expected or ever counted on. But it did. In some cases, it takes longer. The problem is that in most cases, and that's something we see with our clients as well in full transparency, that just people give up before it starts working. And it's not unique to Reddit. I've seen bloggers fail right before they could go up and like they can grow and see results. For most organic visibility channels, the key is consistency, and the key is being not giving up for as long as it's needed. I feel like this is the biggest lesson from my own experiment and from what we are seeing with clients as well. As long as you remain committed and you want to be there and provide real value, you will succeed. It's just the matter of time. The problem is waiting and committing for that time. With that, let's go to some questions because to be honest, I have a hard stop today. I have a meeting scheduled right after this meeting and I want to be late. So let's go through a couple of questions, and I'm hoping that experiment was helpful for anyone looking for Reddit visibility as well. You are muted, April.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, where I have my questions on logged out of for some reason all of a sudden. So I'm just trying to get back to them. I think I remember one of them was what mistakes did you make when you were first starting out, and that you would avoid in the future, or you recommend people starting out to avoid?
Well, to be quite honest, this is exactly not the first social media channel or community that I started. So I was able to rely on my experience and not make many mistakes. I think that most people, what they do, like I said, is just give up before they see any results, and I didn't do that just because I know how that works. At this point, after many years of being an SEO on social social media, I can avoid a lot of mistakes from experience of working with other businesses and with other brands. The hugest mistake is to give up before it happens. I can tell you one little story that I really learned a lot from right into like month 2 or month 3 of my own subreddit. uh, I became the brand ambassador for Peak AI, and they started their own subreddit, which I'm also managing as well as part of that brand ambassadorship. And when I started posting something in my own subreddit, I was definitely quickly called out. Like, are you working for PKI now? You have to be very transparent about that. And that was, I did announce publicly that our company, Smart Marketing, is now collaborating with PKI, and I'm their brand ambassador, and we're working together. But I didn't realize that it should be transparent on Reddit as well. So I quickly went back and edited my Reddit bio to reflect that I'm with PKI at this point. And I also, anytime I mention them, whether that inside their own subreddit or my subreddit or elsewhere, I also do like there is the brand affiliation tag when you make comments or make posts, so you can definitely say that you work with the brand you mention it. And this was not something that I didn't really know, but something I didn't realize, that when you have your own channel, even if you make the description and everything and the bio very transparent about your affiliation, it still needs to be very transparent as well, because you want to be building trust. And I feel like I disappointed a couple of members of my subreddit because I started doing something without proper labeling what I'm doing, a proper transparency. And for most brands, it is a huge lesson to learn. Yes, there is a shortcut to Reddit. You can buy comments without any affiliate, like they will not disclose any affiliation to you or anything. There is it's actually, it may work for some time until it doesn't, until you are blocked as the brand, as the domain name on all the subreddits that you target. But you can spam subreddit, which is not something we are doing or we actually support, but that is possible. But if you want to build something real, you have to be proactive about like disclosing any affiliation that you have. If we build, for example, for clients, if we build accounts, those are transparently branded accounts with brand name, affiliation, and description, in the name, everywhere. So on Reddit, it is especially important because I was called out like within a week after I started working as a brand ambassador with PKI. People noticed, like I didn't really do much. I was probably just cross posting something new from their research or something, and some people noticed right away that I started mentioning the brand at some point without being as transparent as I could have been. And that's people will, on Reddit, people will notice if you're trying to be promotional without properly disclosing why you're promoting a certain brand. And that was, I think this is the quickest it ever happened to me. I've worked with lots of brands in my experience on lots of channels, and on Reddit, it was like this. Like, within a couple of days, people started DMing me saying, "Hey, are you working with PKI? You have to be more transparent about that." That I think that was a huge discovery for me. Like, yes, people pay attention, and I need to do a better job there.
Predators like are looking for reasons. It seems like sometimes to get upset. So like they
Well,
really have to really do a really
That's
I
true.
really
But
appreciate
as a moderator, and now like it's been 7 months, I can say that now I'm like semi-experienced moderator. But you really, as a mod, you see people trying to sneak some promotion somewhere, and this is something that I really don't tolerate. I always tell him on subreddit, if you have a tool, just be open about that. This is my tool, or this is the tool I'm paid to promote, and this is why it deserves a mention here. As long as you are being transparent and factual and telling people exactly what it looks like, um, you should be fine. But it's definitely the quickest I've ever seen people just, okay, you work with PKI. It was interesting. It was an interesting experience. And I'm glad that after so many years in the industry, I still have those little um, like discoveries like that. It's still like something new there. April, I know you've been working in a lot of subreddits. Are there any lessons that you've learned from that?
like definitely being like really friendly. It seems like it's really effective. Like, I know it's like really general, but just like Redditors, like they're on the defensive a lot of the time because especially with like how it's ranking in AI and search now. So like they're a little bit more defensive about promotional stuff. So like if you're just being transparent and friendly and like not really hiding anything, then they actually seem like they really appreciate that. And I think we kind of recently got a comment like, "Wow, I, there's a lot of brands on Reddit, and I'm really glad that this one's not like hiding the fact that hiding what they're doing." So it is really intimidating, but just like being genuine and kind and not fighting fire with fire, I guess that seems like it's the way to go. And yeah, that's what I would recommend for sure. What else? um like just go to other subreddits that are relevant to like the brand and see what's like doing well there, see what people are engaging in and what people find interesting. That can get you can find inspiration to things to share in your own subreddit. And you don't want to only just share brand stuff. You can also share like stuff that's relevant to your industry that would be really helpful for people. Like the ultimate goal is to be really helpful. Like that's how you can start building a community. Yes, it's like really slow, but it does like over time you'll build momentum, especially if you're providing like quality, helpful content. And yeah, just you can't approach it like with the end goal of like just marketing. You have to just kind of approach it in like a community manager kind of way. So
Well, it is very similar to just overall community management
mhm.
and social media management. It's a little bit more difficult for sure, but the fundamental concept remains the same. You have to have more goals. And it is something that we've been discussing with just about any lead or even current client, is like, what expected metrics, what you can guarantee. And I'm always like, there is no way run from the company that can give you guarantees in terms of this is going, what is going to be your clicks from Reddit or mentions or anything. You cannot, if there is a company that is specializing in something like that and gives you all those kinds of guarantees, it means it will get you in trouble at some
Yeah,
point or another. It will do something to kind of fake those numbers or make them more than it's organically should be happening. So it just like with SEO, I do not ever in my many 20 plus years in SEO, I have never given any guarantees because it's organic. Google is not mine. Reddit is not mine as well. Things happen. We will do everything right, but there will never be guaranteed numbers as to the it will grow. It will grow. It will grow as much as it can at that point of time, as much as it is possible. That's the only guarantee I can always give. Things will grow. How fast they grow or how much they grow, is never a good idea to get those numbers from the company, especially if they're doing something right. And that is probably my takeaway from this experiment and from many other subreddits that we've been growing for clients as well. Everything will grow. How fast that is going to grow will depend on many, many, many factors: the popularity of the niche, the community, how much clients are engaged. Because if clients send their happy customers, or if clients collaborate with us on like finding real expertise and finding real insight into the topic, or just providing us with client, like with customer input, like pictures, nothing, like everything that's very, very unique is what makes subreddit grow faster. So there are a lot of things that we say it depends in terms of how fast something grows, especially with subreddit. But we definitely know how to do it right, for sure. Especially April. I just had one experiment. April had like dozens at this point in different topics. So she definitely knows, and we need to have a separate conversation about that, how to navigate topics that you are not an expert in, but you are building the subreddit as well. So all of this, I feel like, is still something we need to discuss in the future. For now, I do need to jump into my next meeting. Thank you so much. And shmari.com is where I announce the topic of the week we're going to discuss on a Wednesday, 1 p.m. EST. See you next Wednesday, and please subscribe. Thank you, April.
Bye,
Bye.